Word on the street is that people are not conducting exit interviews and stay interviews. So let's talk about why I think they're important and how you should go about conducting them. All right, gang, have you ever been in a relationship that you loved, that you really liked, and then it ended, right? If you're watching this on LinkedIn, I am sure you have been there a time or two in your life where you wanted a relationship to work out and it didn't. And you walked away thinking to yourself, why didn't this work? Like, what could I have done differently to make this, last forever, right? To quote a Keith Sweat song. Or what did I do so that I can make sure I don't do it in the future when I'm really in love or in life with someone, in my subsequent relationship? Well, exit interviews and stay interviews are very similar, right? When a person is getting ready to leave your organization and they contributed a lot to the organization, but they're transitioning, an exit interview helps you understand why they're leaving. Is it the money? Is it benefits? Is it a poor manager? Did they not like the commute? What is it that wasn't working for them so that in the future you can avoid that outcome that you didn't want to have happen with that individual perhaps? But a stay interview is even more important than an exit interview. To go back to the relationship analogy, if you really love that person you were with, wouldn't you have wanted to figure out what are you doing that maybe isn't making them very happy so that they can remain in the relationship? Now, I'm not saying that you should go above and beyond to make someone stay who doesn't want to stay, because that can get you into a very toxic and unhealthy situation, both personally and professionally. But what I am saying is that if there are these microaggressions or micro moments that are really making a person feel disenchanted about their experience there, and you can learn about it before they transition and then tweak it so that they're not having that experience on a day-to-day basis, it is worth it, right? So what you should be doing with an exit interview or with a stay interview are a couple things. Number one, have a one-to-one conversation. And by the way, don't have just static questions that you're asking. Every position, every person should have some unique questions that you're asking that's tailored to their position and or their personal experience inside your organization. But you should also conduct a survey. Now, SurveyMonkey is inexpensive. It's especially inexpensive if you're not doing constant surveys, because you can just get it free, right, with some advertising placed in there. If you conduct an exit or a stay interview, you should do it both an in-person interview and capture those comments, but you should also give them a survey so that they can process it and write their own narrative. Those are the two things you should do, and you should establish this on a regular cadence, review it quarterly to make sure you're keeping your finger on the pulse of what is happening with the workforce so that you can make those changes. I will caution you on this. A lot of people don't conduct exit interviews and stay interviews because they don't want to know. Just like we don't ask the person who's leaving us in a relationship, why didn't you stay? Because we are afraid of what the answer might be. I compel you to not be afraid, because that information is going to make you stronger. It's going to make your organization stronger. It's going to make your workforce happier. So make sure you just kind of get some fortitude, get ready for the response, but ask the question so that you can become informed and you can do something about it. So that's this episode of Word on the Street. Thanks for jumping into the conversation. And if you have some questions, leave them in the chat or send us a message. Have a good day.